Salford I-1200 is the second model in our I-Series line, beginning with the I-1100 and the I-1200, the I-2100, and the I-2200. The I-1200 utilizes the standard Coiltech coil, which can be identified by the 4-bolt, 20-inch diameter blade hub. The I-1200 is different from the 1100 in the sense that the I-1100 is a 7.5-inch spacing machine with the small coil. The I-1200 designates that it's the same size coil because it's in the 1000 family, but the 200 tells us that the spacing of the cutters are on 5-inch centers. The I-1200 and the I-1100 are flagship models in our Salford I-Series tillage line because they are still utilized wildly across North America for vertical tillage and management of residue and soil compaction. And the I-Series tools have a strong following for people that are looking to improve their situation from a no-till standpoint or a minimum till standpoint that has a high level of residue, that needs management, or moisture conditions in the springtime that are keeping them from getting into the field. The I-Series tools, because of their design, allow us to get into the field earlier and quicker and to do the right kind of tillage that allows the ground to dry faster and the planters to plant faster so that we can get through the field quicker. What separates Salford I-Series tools from everybody else is our independent cutter design. Now, have you noticed that all of our blades are mounted on our Coiltech cutter arm? On the I-Series, we use two different size cutters. On the I-11 and the I-1200, it is a 4-bolt. Let me show you this one up here. It's a 4-bolt hub. That means that the coil is 1.25 inches in diameter, 20-inch diameter blade, and they're all mounted independently, as you can see. No gang bolts, no solid shafts. Every cutter is mounted independent. The I-Series tools across the board are all constructed very stoutly. All utilize a 4x6 tubing in frame design and frame construction. They all use heavy-duty cylinders in the wing fold operations, as well as lift and lower of the main frames and wings. The tools are all equipped with highway-rated semi-type tires. This unit here has come standard with the 305 22.5 tires, and the wings come standard with 11L15s on the smaller units, but can be upgraded to the 245 19.5 tires, as you can see on this unit here, this 24-foot model. And on the 41-foot, 50-foot, and 60-foot models, they can be equipped with 305 22.5 tires, just like these in the mainframe. We can install those type tires on the wheels, the secondary and primary wings. Very robust tool, extremely strong, lots of weight per foot to ensure that we can get the residue processed as needed. And the machines are available in 3-section and 5-section fold when you start going up to the wider widths, so we can get down the road. So what sets, I've already covered a little bit about what sets us apart from the competition. Of course, when everybody looks at the I-Series tools, the immediate thing that pops out is the fact that we're all independently mounted blades. But another cool aspect that is also inherent into the I-Series product line is the fact that we're able to travel at such high speeds. It's a very efficient tool to own and operate. Everybody looks at all these independent cutters and they're all thinking that, hey, this thing has got a boatload of bearings on it. And it's true. All these cutters do have roller type bearings, and they all require some greasing and some maintenance every now and again. However, Salford, we take that into consideration every time we build a product. Is, how tough is it, how's it going to last, and how easy is it to maintain. So I'm going to show you today and give you some insight into why the Salford tool is able to do such a wonderful job and last and run like it's able to run. And of course, the heart of it is the Coiltech cutter. And so what I'm going to talk to you today is about the hub. I've already talked to you about the frame. Yep, the frame's great. It's big, it's strong, it's stout. It can take the abuse of rough terrain and, the high horsepower tractors that are available nowadays. It'll stand up to that and the abuse that they can deliver. The heavy duty 3-bar harrow, the heavy duty rolling basket, all of that stuff's been designed to accommodate faster ground speeds, higher horsepower, adverse conditions. So why are we going to talk about the hubs? Well, because the hubs, that's where that's where the rubber meets the road, for lack of a better term. I mean, that's where the serious work gets done. It's the cutters. The cutters are processing the dirt. They're cutting up residue. They're doing all the ground engagement. So we want to build a very strong and very robust hub. So what I was able to drag out today that I forgot I actually had in the sales trailer, I threw it in my truck, was a cutaway hub. And this is such a powerful sales tool. We can't use this enough. So what I'm going to do today is take my handy dancer pointer, and we're going to start by working our way from the inside out. So inside every hub, whether it's a 4-bolt hub or a 5-bolt hub on our heavy duty series, the 2000s, 2100s, 2200s, 4100s, and 4200s, they're all designed the same. All these hubs contain 2 Timken style, as I like to put it, cup and cone bearings. Just like what you would see in just like you would see in any wheel, on any wagon, any front wheel, on any tractor, 2-wheel drive tractor. Cup and cone bearings, been around forever. So back in 2010, when we started upgrading these tools and making them stronger, faster, and better, we went away from a roller bearing setup that was side by side, went to the cup and cone bearings. When we did that, we knew that we not only had to improve our bearing, but we also had to improve what keeps the bearing safe from the elements. And that right here is this wonderful little thing I like to refer to as our 6-lip pancake seal. This was the other game changer, folks. So as you can see on this hub, you can see how the bearings are laid out. Here's the outer bearing, inner bearing, 6-lip seal, the grass shield on this cutaway hub. So why is that so special? Well, if anybody that's been around farm equipment their whole life, and especially tillage equipment, we know that this stuff has got to survive in the dust and the dirt. Water, moisture of any kind, that dust, that's the death of a bearing. And if your seal is not up to the challenge, that just means your bearing and is going to wear out faster, and you're going to be repairing it more quickly. So all of our tools come from the factory, the Independent Series tools, with a 100-hour grease interval on the Coiltech cutters. And it's all due to this little jewel right here, the 6-lip seal. So why is that so great? Why is that so important, you ask? And I'm going to tell you right here. So here's the grass shield. And if you can imagine, this is the counterface that's sitting in the back of the hub. So it fits on there basically in the hub right like that. And what you can see on this cutaway is you can see how all these individual lips lay in there. And let me get my fat finger out of the way. Look up in here right like this, okay? Here's this lip right here. That's what I call lip number 1. See how it's flattened out against that counterface, this piece right here? That is laying in there to where that seal is pushed back flat like so. So why that's such a big deal is that not only is there that one that's doing so, this one here is as well, this one here, this one here, and this one here. So let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then see how this one back here, it lays up against the outer ring, this area right here of the counterface. It lays right up against that, in between that and the grass shield. So the cool thing about this is that as we're pumping grease into this hub through the grease zert that's on the back side over here, the grease is coming in, entering this chamber in here, pressurizing this area, flowing out to the front, which pressurizes up, then forces grease to the back. That grease can now push out past all these pancake seals, all these lip seals. Not just one, not just two, but all 6 of those lip seals. And because of the way they're made, see how flexible they are, and the fact that they lay in that counterface like they do, the grease you can pump as many tubes of grease in this hub as you want, as much as you want to waste. And that grease is allowed to pass by all those lips and come right out the back of the hub. Now, that is ginormously important, because what happens to seals on most equipment if you over-grease them? They're ruined. If you grease a hub or a bearing in any application on a shaft and it pops, typically that's a bad sign. However, on the Salford design hub and seal package, it's meant to be over-greased. And that's why we can go to a 100-hour grease interval on this machine. Now, granted, that doesn't mean you can use just any junky old down the road, run-of-the-mill, whatever grease you can buy for the cheapest amount of money. We recommend and suggest in the owner's manual that you use NLGI number 2 grease. And as long as you use NLGI number 2 grease, you grease it 100 hours, every 100 hours, grease it till it comes out the back of the hub, that seal package and bearing package is going to last and last and last. And that's going to minimize your amount of greasing that you're going to have to do to this machine. And just think about it, folks. Just think about it, if you will. 100 hours of use. How many acres can a tool like this, that can go as fast as it can go and run as smoothly as it can run, just imagine how many acres you can get over in a day. This is a 24-foot tool. So for easy math, say that you're running a 30-footer and you're running 10 mile an hour, which is extremely possible with these tools, in a 10-hour day, not having to work too hard, you could easily do 300 acres in a 10-hour day. So 10 will go into 110 times. So you could easily do over 3,000 acres, 4,000 acres. So as we improved the hub, like I said, we developed our own seal package. We developed, designed the hub to accommodate the cup and cone bearing system. We put in an encapsulated nut with a big flange to hold pressure on the bearings and install a roll pin. The bearings, as they wear in, they're just like any other roller taper bearing. You get a little bit of slop in the cutter, you pop out your roll pin, turn the nut a half a turn or a quarter of a turn, however much is needed, and you got it right back to like new tolerances. Tighten it back down, put the roll pin back in, and install the grease cap, and you're back in business. Another cool aspects about our hubs, you know, this tool was designed, as I've said countless times at different farm shows, we cut our teeth in rock country. So the hub caps are recessed down into the hubs, so they're less likely to be knocked off with rocks. It's a very heavy duty grease cap. I want you to take a look and see how thick the material is. This isn't a Walmart grease cap. I mean, that's a very heavy duty, thick grease cap. Another nice benefit to our hub that separates us from the competition is our grease zerts are recessed down inside the hub. And then, as I said, all of them are equipped with a very thick and heavy duty wear guard, dirt shield, and it drives in, that's mounted onto the spindle that comes into the back of the hub and sets down in a channel. that makes it much harder for dirt and debris to get into the seal area. And then every hub on the I-Series tools is equipped with a anti-wrap and scraper device right here on the back, and that rides right here just above the spindle, and that keeps all the dirt, debris, grass, whatever material it may be, from wrapping around the spindle on the hub and wearing on the dirt shield. So long story short, the I-1200, 1100 is the smaller Coiltech family, and the 1.25 inch coils on either a 7.5 or 5-inch spacing. The one nice thing is that I want to stress is this hub design is utilized on all the I-Series tools. So from the 1100 all the way up to the 4200 utilizes this same internal hub design. So for customers and dealers both, maybe you're running several different models, but the bearings inside these hubs, the seals, all that's the same. Nut, everything's the same. So commonality of parts is a big deal. Going to sum this up real quick. Finish up the Salford I-Series line, starting with the 1100, 1200, 2100, 2200, 4100, and 4200. Use a boatload of the same parts. All are heavy duty built. All are running the same hub design on the cutters, and all of them are built to improve and benefit your operation and provide you more hours of service, longer uptime, faster operating speeds, and therefore more productivity and higher efficiency. This is Keith Belt, the Dirty Salford Rep. I very much appreciate you visiting with me today and playing with me in the dirt, talking about our wonderful Salford products. And always remember, God made dirt, and dirt won't hurt. Have a wonderful day.